Be the doctor of iron. New episodes starts today. Its name is Be the Doctor of Iron. Everybody knows what is the meaning of Be the Doctor of Iron. If you have to know about the meaning of Be the Doctor of Iron, you have to just check the name of its Malayalam version and its Hindi version. Its Malayalam version's name is Strong Fabrication Malayalam Episode, and Hindi version's name is World's Strongest Bridge Hindi Episode. Then what is the meaning of Be the Doctor of Iron? One good doctor knows about his patient properly. When we see a man, especially he may be a patient, he may have illness, but naturally he may be visible as a healthy man or healthy woman. But inside of his body, which things are there, what kind of illness he is having, what kind of medicine I have to give to him for getting cured, which medicine will give proper curing, and what kind of medicines will be making him reach to the world of death, or what kind of medicines may be making him reach in serious state. His illness may be increased. These kinds of all thoughts, these kind of all recognitions, one good doctor has to have. One good doctor means the doctor who is trying to do something, whatever he has done yesterday, he will be changing and he will have progress when he does it in today. And whatever he does today, he won't be doing it tomorrow. It will have changes. It will have progressive changes. I am saying about a good doctor who knows the inside of a patient. When we see, I am not a doctor, and sometimes you may not be a doctor, but one good doctor has to know what kind of parts are there in his body, inside of his body, and how does it function? Does it function properly or partially properly, or if it is in a worst level? Sometimes he may be using some machines or some other things. He may use it, but he has to have the proper knowledge about a patient. Same way, one good fabricator has to be the knowledge about his own lovely iron, his own lovely steel, his own lovely material. If you love iron, if you love steel, if you love your own material, you will have the proper knowledge like a doctor. So you have to be the doctor of iron. Everybody has to be. All fabricators have to be. All fabrication supervisors have to be. All fabrication engineers have to be the doctor of iron. If he becomes as a doctor of iron, he shouldn't be called as an ordinary fabricator. He has to be called the fabricator of fabricators, the fabricator of fabricator. Fabricator of fabricators is called an engineer. If he is having talents, if he is also working for invention purpose, not for getting only salary, somebody may be working only for getting salary. They are waiting for the time of 5 o'clock or 4:30 or 6 o'clock or whatever time it finishes. They may be waiting for the time of the end of the duty. It is a burden for them. But the proper fabricator, proper engineer won't have a burden. They won't recognize, they won't realize the time has been finished. Some others have to reach in front of him and they have to tell him, time finished, today's duty finished, you may go home. Up to that time, we will be enjoying. We will have to think we are in the garden of iron. You shouldn't think around my body there are a lot of steel or there are a lot of iron. If you think that kind of way, it may be rust for you. Rust for you. R-U-S-T, rust for you. But if you love iron, if you love steel, if you love your material, if you love your tools, if you love your machines, all rusts will become as and it will become as a gold. It won't become as an ordinary steel or iron or your own material. You have to make it as a gold or precious material than gold. What is the meaning of making it to the form of gold? One MS won't become a gold, everybody knows. One SS won't become a gold, everybody knows. But if your hand is being touched in iron, it has to become a valuable machine or valuable fabricated job. So, for that purpose, you have to become the doctor of iron. One doctor of iron knows wherever I have to touch. If I touch, if I press, what will happen? How much it will have bent? Or how much it will be spoiled. Everything he has to know. In Malayalam, there is a proverb that is, Talla chauttiyalum kunyinu kedilla. If you apply your leg, if you apply your hand, but this material shouldn't be got spoiled. You have to recognize. Somebody recognizes after getting accident or after getting spoiling. He won't be called as a doctor of iron. Before it happens, before accident happens, before it gets spoiled, you have to recognize it will have this much of problems in future. If you recognize it, you will be called as a doctor of iron. So, I welcome all of you to become as the doctor of iron. But it is my first episode of Be the Doctor of Iron English episode. Frequently think about its Malayalam version's heading name and Hindi version's heading name. Then you will easily find out, easily recognize what am I going to speak in this episode. It's Malayalam. Once again I repeat, its Malayalam version's name is Strong Fabrication Malayalam episode. Its Hindi version's name is World's Strongest Bridge. In this world's strongest bridge. Okay, come to the point. It is my 299th video. I would like to say something about this number. Coming number will be 300. 300. I beg you to, I ask you to enjoy with my 300th video. We have to enjoy with 300th video. I think sometimes it may happen tomorrow. I don't know. Everything is from Lord Almighty God. If I live that much of a ways, and my Lord Almighty God and your Lord Almighty God, all people's God is only one, that Lord Almighty God allows me to do 300th video. It means if I don't fall in death, if I don't die, because of His mercy, if I do 300th video, we have to enjoy, we have to celebrate. I would like to enjoy with you. I would like to celebrate it with you. Okay? So, it is my 299th video, and a new series starts today. Be the Doctor of Iron English episode. Its first episode is going on. For getting my 299 videos, you have to type in YouTube Joseph Jude Kanat Nicholas. Okay, what do I tell about Be the Doctor of Iron? In Malayalam episode, we say Strong Fabrication Malayalam episode, and in English Hindi version we say World's Strongest Bridge. This is a valley. Now in this episode we are going to make a lengthy horizontal bridge. Above this bridge, train will be traveling. That kind of one bridge we are going to do. We will be doing its all operations. We will be studying about its all operations from the starting to the end. Starting means we will have to take its estimation, we will have to draw its drawing, we will have to find out its easy methods. That kind of so many operators we will start, and finally we will reach in the level of commissioning. Completing this work after welding, grinding, painting, train will be going through this railway track. Up to the time of train traveling, whatever works, whatever procedures, whatever operations we have to complete, those all will be completed. So it won't be finished. I am not ready to stop this series within 1 or 2 or 3 episodes. Each episodes I will be explaining widely. I will go to different operations of fabrications. I may be saying widely, but it won't be spoiling time. If with full of optimism, I can say my 299 videos, if you check, at least 1 unit of knowledge you will have got from each video. I won't be spoiling time like some social media recreations. It is a proper recreation also. It doesn't give any kind of knowledge. Most of them, some social media may be giving some knowledge. I don't regret those all. That too happen. But most of the social media platforms, the ones who comes with video or with the audio or with some other place, those ones don't have, most of them don't have value. It spoils our time. If we avoid that kind of spoiling time, the persons who get Nobel Prize will be increased. Number of people gets Nobel Prize will be increased. Everybody can't give Nobel Prize. Even if it is so many people will be in the level of, in the 99th step of, in the 99th percentage of Nobel Prize. So, don't spoil time for no unuseful social media platforms. Sometimes it may be Facebook, it may be WhatsApp, it may be Google, it may be YouTube, anything, everywhere. People are there who spoils time with audios, videos, pictures and everything. So, with full of optimism, full of happiness, I can say, if I complete 299th video today, from all videos, you will have got at least 1 unit of knowledge. So now we are going in this episode, in the series, we are trying to make the A to Z operations of one bridge, railway bridge, which is going through a valley. When we see this structure, I have drawn through my own hand, ordinary hand. I didn't use compass, I didn't use protractor, I didn't use that kind of anything. It is for teaching you. So I just made a rough sketch only. When you see this picture, you may see it is like a cup, it is like a vessel, it is like that kind of something. So you may think it is a small, but remember, it is a depth, it has great depth. It is a valley and water is there. Above water, whatever point we have to show, that line I have shown. And it's top, it is a big mountain, lengthy mountain, and it has approximate height from water level to bottom of this point is 0.5 kilometer. Now, don't think it is an ordinary cup. It is an ordinary glass. It is an ordinary jug. It's approximate, not approximate. It's height from bottom to. It's height from top to water levels top to bottom of girder is 0.5 kilometer, half kilometer. We are going to make one bridge. Its height from water level to the bottom of girder is half kilometer or 0.5 kilometer depth. And its span, everybody knows span is the distance from two columns, inside of two columns. If this girder is being supported in two columns, in between these two columns, how much of length is there? That length is called span. Everybody knows it. Just see these two columns. In these columns, in between this place, from this line to this line, if you make a girder top side, that girder's span will be the inside to inside of this column. That place, that girder doesn't have supports. So, its span is the distance from this column to the distance of this column is 1.5 kilometer. I didn't say it in millimeter. I didn't say it in centimeter. I didn't say it in meter. I told it in kilometer. 1.5 kilometer span it is having. 1.5 kilometer span it is having. So its span is 1.5 kilometer. It means 1,500 meter. Depth I told you 0.5 kilometer, 500 meter. So once again I remind you, when you see, you may feel it like a cup or glass or like a jug or that kind of thing, or like a vessel or that kind of anything, but it isn't an ordinary. Its length is 1.5 kilometer and its depth is 0.5 kilometer. If we convert these two into millimeter, how much it will be? Span is 1.5 kilometer. 1 meter is 1000 millimeter. I have told you and I have taught you, and you know everything very well. 1 meter is 1000 millimeter. And 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. If 1000 meters are there, 1 meter is 1000 millimeter. If 1000 millimeter are there, 1 meter will be formed. If 1000 meter is there, 1 kilometer will be formed. If it is so, this convert this one to millimeter. First we convert it to meter. 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. So 1.5 kilometer will be 1500 meter. For converting to meter, kilometer has to be multiplied with 1000, or kilometer with kilometer we have to put 3 more zeros. So 1.5 into 1000 is 1500 meter, and 0.5 into 1500 meter. What is this meter is millimeter? If we convert this one to millimeter, how can we convert? You know, 1 meter is 1000 millimeter. So if it is 500 meter, it has to be multiplied with 1000 or with 500. We have to add 3 zeros. So if we convert 500 meter to millimeter, it will become 5 lakh. So remember, that girder, the railway bridge we are going to make is not an ordinary. Its depth is from water level to top is 5 lakh. So when we make, we have to have 100% safety. Otherwise, so many accidents may happen. And its span is, we converted to millimeter, then 1.5 kilometer becomes 1500 meter when we converted to meter, and when we converted to millimeter it becomes 15 lakh millimeter. So we are going to make a great project. So once again I welcome to you. We have to, sometimes we may take years to complete this fabrication. This bridge is fully made with 99% or approximately 95% we will be making with iron. We will be using steel material only, MS or SS or that kind of material only. SS we are not going to use. We won't be using concrete. We will be minimizing concrete. Some places we have to use. It is mountain area. There we will have to use concrete. Top side of concrete we will be attaching this iron bridge. Here also we have to use. Sometimes when we think about it, this much of kilometer, if it doesn't take load, we will have to give column here. Sometimes it too may not take load, then we have to increase the number of columns. For that purpose we have to take the proper estimation. We shall come to the point. So I told you this all you recognized, realized. Now I told about span also. You know it is the distance in between two columns. Its depth I have told. This railway bridge we are going to make. I told about span and I told about the measurements of span and its depth, and you know this all in my another series, that means fabricated cones and structural supervisions manual, degree calculation. That kind of so many series are there. Those ones you are seeing and you know about these all calculations. And I told about, I converted it into millimeter and it became this much. So mostly when we think about bridges, most of the bridges are slight tapering from its initial point to the middle, and again it reaches to the ground levels like this. Most of the bridges will be like, if we give approximate 11 degree tapering to bridge from horizontal level, it may be traveling smoothly, especially buses, cars and that kind of vehicles will be traveling. But remember, our bridge is only for train. Everybody knows train is having length, width, breadth. So this kind of sharpened edges may not be suitable for railway bridges. Actually, this kind of bridges we have to make. Both end we need concrete blocks, this kind of. In its top side we have to fix it. But this will have one disadvantage. It may have bend when compared with this one. This one also will have bend, but its bending tendency will be only a little when compared with this one. Its structure, if we check its structure, we can recognize. If these 2 points have been blocked, then also it will have a tendency to come to down, but this inclination, however this inclination is being increased up. Now it is 11 degree. If it is to more degree and it reaches to the vertical level, everybody knows that vertical portion, vertical girder won't have a bend if it is in straight. But we are not making vertical thing, we are making one bridge, so it has to have tapering. It may be 11 degree or 10, 5, 6, anything. Sometimes it may be 1 degree. But if it is having a degree from horizontal level to up, its tendency to become bent will be decreased, will be only a little when compared with this kind of horizontal level. For making you understand, I told if its degree, if we increase to 11 degree to 12, 13 or up to 90 degree won't have a bend. And if it is very near to 90 degree, it means if it is 89 degree, its bending tendency will be very, very little when compared with this kind of horizontal. So this is the proper structure when compared with this one. But this is not applicable in this valley area, in this mountain area, because it is only for terrain. So we can use this kind of system. But remember, its span is, the distance from here to here is 1.5 kilometer. So if we use this much small girder, width of this girder is only a little. When we look, we get that kind of feeling. Actually, I didn't write measurement here. Top side, one line is being visible. Bottom side also one line is visible. I haven't indicated whether it is pipe or SHS or RHS or I-beam or angle or channel or plain plate. I didn't indicate. But this line and this line, in between measurement of these two lines, if it is only a little, this bridge will have more tendency to get bend in its center. So what we have to do, the height in between this line and this line has to be increased. If we increase to like this, the capacity to get bend in its center will be only a little when compared with this one. But remember, here also the span is 1.5 kilometer. It's here also I haven't indicated its measurement. Roughly when we look, we may feel it too may have bent. Then again, what is the only solution for not getting bent? Here we remembered it will have bent. Then we increased the height from this much. Again it may have bent. Then we have to increase. How much we will be increasing? If we increase this girder's width from here to here is, this is the height of girder. If we increase, how much we can increase? Maximum up to here. Here is water. From here to bottom, water is there. I haven't shown water. Water levels top side I have indicated using this line. So if we try to make strength to this girder, we have to increase the height of this line to this line. Maximum we can increase is the top side of water. If we make it, it will have strength. I haven't indicated whether it is a pipe, whether it is being made from pipe, or it is being made with a square tube, or it is being made with the RHS or I-beam or channel or angle or another materials, or with the plain plate. I haven't indicated, but it has strength. If we give proper gusset plates, stiffness, it will have proper strength. But how much of material will be spoiled? How much of time will be taken to complete this? How much of disturbance will be there to environment? Water will be disturbed. Water flow will be disturbed. And wind problem, earthquake problem, especially wind problem. Wind will affect this bridge. So it has to be changed, this structure. So what is the solution? If this is its bridge, if we make full structure, make a full girder from this place to the top of water, its problem we realized. So what can we do? We can just give one support here. We can give one column here, like this. Full material we don't use. Instead of that, wherever it will have more bend, those places we have to use a column. These are rough sketches. Everybody knows, really rough sketch I have made. If we make this kind of rough sketch, finally we will be making its detailed drawings. Means, if we decide to make this kind of structure, one material will be coming. It may be pipe, it may be I-beam, it may be anything. But its proper length, this only small materials, proper length we will calculate, its proper degree we will calculate. Everybody knows it will have a profile cut at this point and this point. So many materials will be there, but it's minute materials development also we will be drawing. This rough sketch, remember? It is rough sketch. So when compared with this kind of material, this is proper way. But remember, its bottom side is water. Water will be disturbed. And water's really bottom side, sand will be there. It too may not have more strength. Soil testing has to be done. It is water area, it is river area. Because of that, we are doing soil tests. Like that one thought you shouldn't have. Here it is mountain area. Even if it is so, here also we have to check the soil, whether it is having strength or not. If it isn't having strength here and here, we have to increase the quantity. It may be related with civil field, but no fabricator, no fabrication supervisor, no engineer, no scientist of fabrication field shouldn't say the word, it is related with civil, I won't be studying it. We will have to have knowledge about fabrication related all subjects. Minimum knowledge, approximate minimum knowledge we have to have. in one classroom, when one teacher was teaching engineering, especially mechanical engineering, if I concentrate and say it was about fabrication engineering, he asked, this fabrication works relates with how many subjects? He asked this question to all students. He asked, just say only one subject that fabrication is related with. The first student told it is related with physics. That is a correct answer. It has a lot of relation with physics. Load is related with physics. Optics is related with physics. Heat is related with physics. These all have to be used in fabrication field. Heat we have to use. Measurements we have to use. These all are related with physics, so it is having, fabrication is having relation with physics. Next student told it is related with chemistry. That is also correct. How many materials we use in fabrication field? MS material, SS material, that kind of so many materials we use. Aluminium, cast iron, all kinds of materials we use in fabrication field. So that kind of so many solids are related with the chemistry. Liquids are so many related with the chemistry. Gases also related with the fabrication, because in fabrication field we use so many gases. For gas cutting we use oxygen, LPG, propane, acetylene. That kind of so many gases we use for gas cutting, or some other gases used for welding. It may be argon, it may be CO2, carbon dioxide. So many. So it has a lot of connection with chemistry, physics. That next person told it is having relation with the trigonometry. It is okay, correct. It is having relation with the solids. In mathematics, one small branch is solids. It is related with that. We have to find out the weight of this material. We have to find out the volume of this material. So it has a lot of connection with the physics, mathematics, chemistry, and so many subjects. It has to have connection with the safety. It has to have connection with the that kind of so many mini small subjects, related subjects. Students told. Finally, teacher's question reached to the last person. So most of the answers had been told. The last student couldn't say anything. He was in a dilemma. He worried, but teacher told anything you may say, because it is having a lot of connection with a lot of subjects. He couldn't say an answer. Finally, he told a word: circus. He told the word circus. Some students, most of the students laughed, but teacher didn't laugh, and he told it has connection with the circus also. how does it connect with, relate with circus? In circus, what kind of operations, plays they do? It is wonderful thing for myself and for yours. If you don't know circus, it will be a wonderful thing for you also. Closing eyes. What kind of circus, what kind of games they do? How do they run? How do they ride bicycles, bikes, cars? How do they swing? How could they do this all? They didn't do it within one day. They practiced it for so many days or weeks or months. More than this all, we have to say, special way they practiced. That speciality, because of the speciality, they could train and become expert in that one. Somebody will be throwing cup from leg to another person's head. It will be reaching in proper place. They may have closed their eyes. The person who receives the cup from another person's leg won't have seen, but it reaches in his proper head and it doesn't fall down. So, it has two speciality. Practice is there, so many months or sometimes it may be years practice is there, and another way, thought of mind, special way they think and they study it. Like that, fabrication also has to have speciality. If we grind, sometimes we may be taking bevel. We may be grinding to a 45 degree. Frequently, somebody will be checking whether it has reached 45 degree or in which degree it has reached, how much of material it has gone. Frequently, after a very 1 minute or after a very 30 seconds, somebody may be checking. Why does he check it frequently? He has to check it frequently. Why? He doesn't have practice. If he recognizes like a circus man or circus woman, he will start grinding and he will have some thoughts in his mind. He will reach in the final point, it will be 45 degree. If he has to get 45 degree bevel, it will be reaching in 45 degree. How do we get this talent? If you can't understand, this grinding can be say about gas cutting, and this gas cutting can be say about welding. This welding can be say about these kind of operators can be told about all operations in marking, in cutting, in bending, in rolling, and all kinds of fabrication operations. We have to have expert. If we don't check frequently when we grind, and if we reach in the proper aim, we will be called as skilled worker. Workers are divided into 3 categories. One is skilled worker. He knows everything. So he isn't an ordinary fabricator. He has to be called as the fabricator of fabricator. The fabricator of fabricator is called an engineer. If he is also having talents, he shouldn't be called as an engineer. He has to be called as the engineer of engineers. And if he is having that kind of talents, if he is having that kind of talents, he shouldn't be the engineer of engineers. He has to be called as an he has to be called as a scientist. If he is having talents in this field also, he will be inventing so many things, and he will be becoming like an Edison, like a person like Edison, or like a Newton, or that kind of scientist. He has to be the scientist of scientists. For that purpose, we have to enjoy fabrication work. So we shouldn't be working as only for getting salary, only for just completing 8 hours work. Anyway, it has to be completed. If you complete like this, you will be making rust only, not making gold. You know the difference between rust and gold. So I ask you to make gold. The meaning of gold, the secondary meaning of gold, everybody knows. You know, one MS material won't become a gold. But what is the meaning of becoming gold? If you think you are the doctor of iron, you can spoil that material. It will be glittered, and it will give so many advantages, and it will become as a good machine, and it will become as a good fabricated job. It will be used for human being. So we can say this useful fabricated job or useful machine has to be, this kind of machines or this kind of fabricated jobs have to be called as gold. Okay, so I was saying we have to it has to have relationship with the circus also. Okay, so we were saying this column and its small parts, drawing, development, and how many these kind of materials have to be marked, cut, and erected. Those also will be indicated in our job. Okay, so it can be used, but what is one problem? It is in water. It disturbs a river. Actually, water is in this much of area only, but remaining area is mountain. This is sand area, but it is against our environment, and here it won't have more strength also, because it is water, and its bottom side also river, sand will be there, but it too won't have more strength. So what kind of change we can make? If we make one triangle shaped bracing like this, its bottom side won't reach in water, won't reach in non-strong soil. It will be reaching in mountain area. It will have strength. If it doesn't have strength, there also we have to use concrete. How much of strength it's, how much of sand strength, it doesn't have that much of concrete strength, we have to increase. So it has another speciality. It is like a triangle shaped one. If it is a triangle shaped one, it has so many facilities. What is the difference between triangled shaped fabricated job and square or rectangular shaped fabricated job? Just see this diagram. In this diagram, remember, this is a frame we have made with the square tube or rectangular tube or round tube or I-beam, any material we have used. But if you make this kind of one job with the channel or angle, if you apply force from this corner, if you apply force from this corner, this strength line, vertical line will have bend, and it will be inclined to bottom, it will be reaching very near to horizontal level. If you apply more force, it will be reaching very, very near to horizontal level. It will be, because it doesn't have strength. This kind of jobs won't have strength. If we have to strengthen this one, we have to do? One bracing we have to give. Like this, bracing we have given. If you apply force from here, it won't have bend, because if you apply force from here, this vertical line, vertical material, it may be angle or some other thing, it won't have 1 mm bend also to 1 mm inclination also to left side. Why? This supports, strengthens this line. This support, this bracing doesn't allow this vertical line to come to left side. Same way, if you apply force from here also, this vertical line won't come to right side. It won't have inclination to this side. Why? If it has to have inclination to right side, this material also has to go to this side. It won't go. Why? This bracing is there. So this bracings are really strengthy one. If you can't understand this one, you can just think this kind of one structure. Just think this structure is with one plate. This structure is also with one plate. Plate means a flat. This is flat, this is flat, this is flat. If we join this flat and this flat with one bolting system, not with the welding. 2 flats we are using with the bolts. 1 hole we made and we bolted it. 1 hole we made, bolted it. 4 holes and 4 bolts are there. But if we apply force from here, what will happen? It will act like a hinge inside of this bolt. Inside of this bolt, when we apply force, this one will be come to the side. However, we have fastened this one, that much it may not be coming to this one, but this fastening has a limit. It will be coming to the side. So one bracing is important. Remember, instead of this one, it means triangle shaped, one job will have strength in fabrication field. This is a triangle shaped job. It is also with the bolting. It isn't made with welding. It has been made with the bolting. I haven't indicated the end point of this flat and this flat. But these 2 flats have been joined with the bolting. 1 hole is there and 1 bolt has been fastened. Here also 1 hole. For this flat, 1 hole is there, and this flat also 1 hole is there. Both holes have been bolted. 3 places we can see holes, and 3 bolts and nuts are there. But if we apply force from here, this vertical line won't come to the side. Why? If it comes to the side, this flat doesn't allow this flat to come to this side, because it has been fixed here. So always we have to give this kind of bracings. In which degree we have to give these bracings? In our girder, we shouldn't give this kind of pipes or SHS or arches. If we give, it will have strength. But if we apply force from here, 1 force is coming from here or 1 force is coming from here, it will have bend like this and it will be spoiled. this one will be spoiled. So we have to use this kind of structures. Vertical line means 90 degree, and so in which degree we can give this bracing? Everybody may say it may be 45 degree. Okay, it is acceptable. In most of the structures we see 45 degree bracings, and if we use 45 degree, we may feel so many bracings we have to give, so we can decrease the 45 degree bracings to 20 degree or 10 degree or some other minimum degrees. If we decrease it to very near to 0 degree, it means 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. Now I have just decreased this 45 degree to a small degree. Just hand sketch I have made. However, we decrease this degree to horizontal level, its strength slightly minimized. Its length, strength will be minimized, because actually this degree comes very near to horizontal level. Then also this system triangle shape is there, so strength is there. Even if it is so, when compared with this, its strength will be only a little. If we keep it in 90 degree, it is 90 degree, its problem we realized. For that purpose, we gave inclination 45 degree. But this inclination being brought to horizontal level, its strength is slightly decreased. It means the top line to bottom line height will be decreased and strength also will be decreased. So which 45 degree if we use, so we have to use 45 degree. But what is the problem of slight 45 degree? It doesn't have more problem. But what do I say? Our purpose is be the doctor of iron, and its Hindi version's name is world's world's strongest bridge. So heavy strong strength we have to get. So just to think about this triangle. If it is 45 degree, automatically it will be 45 degree, but it will become 90 degree. If this 45 degree comes to horizontal level, we recognized it won't have more strength, because this length will be, the line will be lengthened. It will have more length. In this place also, that is happening. But it is 45 degrees, so we don't see this. If it is 45 degree, this line will be bigger than, if you make a triangle to here, if you make a leg to here, this is 45 degree. The line we have drawn and the line already I have drawn will be 45 degree. It means it becomes as a hypotenuse in this triangle. I have told, I haven't drawn here, from here to here one line, and from here to here another line, and from here to here another line. In this triangle, this line will be long one. It will be hypotenuse. So if one line becomes lengthy one, it won't have strength. All lines how to have same length. For that purpose, 45 degree really acceptable, but I suggest 60 degree. In the 60 degree, all degrees will be 60 degree, because total, if we add all degrees in one triangle, in all triangles, if we add all angles, total degree of all angles will be 180 degree. So if it is 60 degree, we have to make it as 60 degree. Here also we have to make it as 60 degree. Then 60 plus 60 plus 60, it is a triangle. 180 degrees there, proper triangle. It will have more strength. It is acceptable, but I suggest 60 degree to make bracings. Okay. In next class, I can say more about our bridge. We told about this much, but it's another structure is, now I don't describe this kind of bracings now. Finally we can say about it. I just make a line only one line I will make. Here also I will one line. Here also I will draw one line and I will teach you. This kind of one job, just think about it. I will say about this kind of one job. It is also a girder, like this kind of bracings are there. I haven't indicated here. It is also a column. It is also having bracings here, but I haven't indicated here. It is also a bracing. It is also having inside bracings. So many here also. It's one speciality. It doesn't touch water. It doesn't spoil our environment. Water transporting through river will be moving properly. No need to take soil test. Soil test we will do for this purpose also, but soil will be some more strengthy one here. So this kind of bridge also we have to make. We will study about all kinds of bridges in this dimension, 1.5 kilometer span and 0.5 meter depth. In this all types of bridges we will try to fabricate. It is our time for studying only. I just shown about this kind of bridges, and I told about this one. Its problems also we told. We can make this kind of one also, but its height has to be increased, and I told about its faults. This kind of bridge also we can make. We will make also, but we will think which bridge first we have to study, whether it should be this one or this one or this one, or this kind of bridge also we can make. In next episode I shall describe about these all bridges, this type of bridges, or this type of bridge, or this type of bridge, or what kind of bridge we have to use. Those all will be described in next episode. Okay, thank you very much, and once again I remind you, it is my 299th video. Next video will be 300th. Video number 300 will have a speciality. We have to enjoy. We have to celebrate. I would like to enjoy with you. You are my viewers. I would like to celebrate it with you. Okay, thank you very much for seeing this video. Thank you very much for studying this video. You shouldn't see my videos. I will say you shouldn't see. You should study. You have to give proper pause to my video, and You have to study using your calculator, using your A4 notebook, using your protractor, scale, compass, that kind of issues. And again, pose has to be changed and video has to be seen. That kind of one speciality, one importance, that kind of one desire you have to show when you see my video. Again I say, don't see, study. Okay, thank you very much for participation. It's remaining. This one I will teach you in next class. Okay, thank you very much.